Hello, welcome in to today's video. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys today. I am starting a reading vlog. Today is Thursday and I have Friday and Saturday off of work as well. And so I thought about doing a reading vlog. I was going to do like a how many books can I read in the end of July kind of reading vlog because today's the 30th and tomorrow's the 31st. But I also have Saturday off, so I'm going to want to read and film that day too. So I'm just going to do like a cozy weekend reading vlog. It's the end of July. It's nice and sunny out, but it's supposed to rain the next couple days. Me and my husband are both home, so I'm just going to hang out, read, clean, be cozy, go out for dinner maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Welcome into a weekend cozy reading vlog. I'm going to start this by saying you may or may not see another video with me wearing this shirt. I'm a terrible YouTuber. I do not have the energy to go and change my shirt for one video. Okay, so you're going to see the shirt in a couple videos. Hush. To start, I'm reading this fantasy book called With Shield and Ink and Bone. I'll put a picture up here, but because I don't have the physical copy with me, it's out in the living room, but I started that last night at work. I'm not very far in, but I'm really liking it so far. It's one of those books I got in a bookworm subscription. No, it's not a subscription box. I got it in a bookworm box in 2020. Back in my coho phase, you've heard me say this before, probably in another video. Back in my coho phase, she put together a bookworm box in 2020, and her and a bunch of other authors did special edition covers of one book, and all of them are signed. They all have special edition covers, and they all put their book in this box. So it was like 20 books that you got if you bought it, and all the money went to charity. So I bought this box. And I got like 2 books by Megan Brandy. I got a book by Penny Reed. I got a book by Casey Bond, who is the author of the book I'm reading now. There's a couple Coho books in there. There was a Lucy Score book in there, a Tijan book in there. There were several. So they're beautiful books and they're all signed and they're all nice, like quality wise. And then I started reading through them. And most of these authors I had never read from before, except for Coho. And I'm not really a Coho reader anymore. And my taste has changed. And now I've waited so long to read some of these books. And I'm like, I read Dirty Curve by Megan Brandy. Didn't love it. It was fun, but not like the best. I read Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. Didn't like it. Like, I just have not been a fan of the books I've been reading out of the box. So this is another book out of that box. I just was looking around for something to read and I saw it and I was like, you know what? I just need to get it. I just need to pick it up. And if I don't think I'm going to like it, I can DNF it. I've been DNFing more this year. I'm getting into my era of I don't have to read this if I don't want to. And so I'm like, if I don't like it, I can DNF it, or I can just finally sit down and read it. And luckily, I am enjoying this one, so the bookworm box may not do me dirty this time, but I'm reading that. And then through the rest of the weekend, I have no clue what I want to read. Not a clue. Tomorrow's the last day of July. I would like to finish this book and then maybe read one more for my like July read. So today and tomorrow, maybe finish up this book and read one more. I don't know what that book would be. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. We'll see. That's a tomorrow's problem. And then Saturday's the first day of August. So I will probably be editing a little bit to post some videos. And then what do I want to start off August with? I don't know. Is it finally time to read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson? Maybe. Because I do have a lot of time off this month because I'm not work. I was supposed to go on vacation, but because of all our IVF stuff, it got canceled. So now we're doing a staycation. So I'm kind of working, but not like both jobs. Like I'm just working like my normal one job for the 2 weeks because I took the time off with the other one. So anywho, I want to have some time this month to read. So is it finally time to start The Way of Kings? Maybe. Maybe we'll start that. I don't know. But then do I want to do a reading vlog of that? We'll see. I don't know what the weekend's going to bring. What I do know is I'm going to go read, maybe do some chores. Me and my husband are going to go to a Mexican place tonight, so maybe get a margarita. I'll take you with me and come back and read some more and then go to bed early because I'm tired. Okay. I'm tired. And then read all day tomorrow. Welcome to the reading vlog. Welcome to a cozy weekend. Grab a book, grab a blanket, grab a drink, and let's just hang out. Let's just hang out. Good morning. It is Friday morning. It's the last day of July, and I just got up and got myself around. And I didn't update you last night, but we went to the Mexican restaurant, had a nice time, had a margarita, came home, and I listened to my audiobook while I put away laundry. I had like 5 loads. Put away laundry. And then just kind of like had a relaxing evening. And my husband watched a show he wanted to watch, and I read my book for a little bit, and then we went to bed. So I woke up this morning. I have nothing on the agenda for today, and I'm so freaking excited. It's raining. So it's like a cozy rainy day. So I'm just going to read. Throughout the day, I might like listen to the audio and clean a little bit. But other than that, I'm just going to hang out and read. I got to part 2 last night. So I'm like 150 pages in. It's really good so far. So the story is about Liv, who's like living in these Viking times, and her whole family gets something bad happens. I don't want to spoil it, but it happens very quickly. So she prays to this god, like she's almost killed, and she is killed, and she prays to this god to like help her get revenge, and like promises that she'll do anything, and like she'll be their hand or whatever. I don't know. So like they give her power and save her life, and now she's gotta. It's like this whole army is building that did something bad to her village that also did something bad to all the other villages around her, and they're Vikings. So if you know, you know. And so she's like got to prepare an army and all this stuff. But not a lot has happened, but also like some pretty cool stuff has happened. But anywho, I'm liking it so far. Pretty cool cover. I don't know. The audiobook cover is snakes, and my husband saw it and was like, "Is this snakes on a plane but with smut?" First of all, sir, there's no smut in this. Well, there hasn't been so far, okay? But anywho, I'm liking it so far. So that's my update. Okay, it is Friday night and I'm filming a little update. I just finished with Shield and Ink and Bone by Casey L. Bond. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4 stars. This was like a Viking story. This girl lived with her family in their village and something traumatic happened, and this god saved her so she could get revenge. And so she had to like raise a whole army and get revenge on the guy who got all these people together to kill her family. And she fell in love in the meantime, and there was a whole like found family deal. She like, because she was the only survivor of her clan, so she went and met this other group and fell in love with this guy, and like just realized that like she really cared for the people she meets along the way. And so she like realized that she wanted to live in the end, and she wanted a happily ever after. And although I did like the ending, I felt like it was dragged out for her to get her happy ending, and I would have been just as satisfied if she wouldn't, like, in this case, I would have been just as satisfied if she wouldn't have gotten her happy ending, but if the male main character got a happy ending, but not with her, you know? I don't want to spoil anything, so that's why I'm being so vague. Let me just spoiler alert here. I'm gonna put a time on the screen, and if you don't want spoilers for this book, skip to that time, okay? Because I feel like I can't do a good review if I can't give details. So Liv begs the god Scold to save her. Her brother has this vision of wolves attacking their village, and everyone's like, "You're insane." Well, the wolf clan comes and attacks the village and kills everybody, and they leave her like pretty much dead, but they didn't like officially end it. They like dragged her out so she would, like, she's stabbed to death, but not all the way to death, but she's gonna either bleed out or drown. So she begs the god Scold to save her life so she can get revenge on. So it's the Wolf Clan. The leader was killed in their village, so his son comes to avenge him. Is what it is. Okay. So she begs the god to save her so that she can get revenge on this man, and the god agrees because this man, not only is he wanting to get revenge, but he's just like, you know what? Now that I'm the leader of this clan, I'm worried that not only are they going to get revenge, but these people are going to get revenge and like all this. So he's like, I'll just attack all these little villages and take all their stuff and kill all their people and take everything. So the god's like, okay, I'll help you if you stop this. So she gives this woman power, this girl power. She's 17 years old, of course. And she gets these, like, they call her a witch. And she goes to warn the next little village over. Well, on the way, she meets Calder, who is the male main character. And he's like, I was coming to warn you guys. And she's like, it's too late. Everyone's already dead except for me. But, like, I'm not supposed to be alive. But she doesn't really tell him why. And then he brings her back to his village. She meets his father, and then she like works her little, like, a lot of people don't like the witches, so she works her little magic and she like helps her his father with his knee and like just does like little things, and like she saves Calder's best friend and does like little things, and so they end up like starting to trust her, and then so they get a group together and go to the next village and save them from the wolves, and then go to the next village, you know, like, and on until she's got this big army and she meets with another big clan. And basically this by this point she's like really powerful, and like Thor tries to shoot her down with lightning and she survives, and like everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's so powerful. And so she works with this king and this other clan, like they call him jarls. It's like the leader of the group. Works with this other big clan to take on these wolves, and the god tells her like when the wolves are gonna attack this village. Well, then the other king like is in cahoots with the wolves the whole time. It's a whole thing. Anyways, she falls in love with Calder, and she like really loves his father, sees him as a father figure, and like really falls in love with like the village people, and like she's like, I don't want to die. But her deal with the god is that she has to die at the end. Like the god only saves her long enough to get her vengeance and save the other clans from this man, and then she's got to die like she was supposed to. But she's like, I don't want to die now because I'm in love. And then she realizes that Calder's best friend is in love with him, and that's why Calder's best friend is not like her. So anyway, at the end of it, it's like a long drawn out thing. She kills the wolf leader, gets her vengeance, and then she's like, you know, I don't want to die. So it's like this whole long drawn out thing of like convincing the goddess and to let her live, and like she'll sacrifice this and that and blah blah blah. And the whole ending is like really drawn out. Like the whole, because when she's working with this Jarl, this clan leader, with their armies all together, waiting for the wolves to attack, it's like this whole countdown because the goddess tells her like you have to die at the end, and so she's like, I've got 1 day left, or I've got 5 days left, I got 4 days left, 3 days left, 2 days left, 1 day, you know, like it's this whole big drawn out thing. And so I would have been satisfied if at the end of it she died and fulfilled her destiny, and then him and his best friend would have had this like happily ever after. Like that would have been enough for me. Okay. But it was so drawn out, so drawn out. And then they were like begging and pleading with this goddess, and she's like, okay, you can live if you let me take possession of your body once a month so I can live amongst the people. And it's this whole thing. And they ended up doing that. And she lived her happily ever after, and they got married, and it was a whole thing. And like, it's all drawn out. It was a good ending, but I'm like, so for 383 pages, it felt longer. But it was a good book. It was very interesting. I haven't really read any Viking stories, so like I liked it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I think I'm settling on. So that's my thoughts on that. It is like 8 p.m. and my husband has to get up for work at 6, and I'm really tired because I just got off a stretch of a bunch of night shifts in a row. So like I slept good last night, but I woke up super early this morning, super early. I woke up 7. So, but I think we're just gonna go to bed soon and just relax and like watch a movie in bed and go to bed. So I don't think I'm gonna start another book tonight like I wanted to. So I'm ending the month of July with 10 books read and 1 DNF. Spoiler alert for my wrap up video. But I'm not gonna read another book tonight. And then tomorrow is the first day of August, so I'm gonna continue this vlog and I'm gonna pick my first read of August. And I don't know what it's gonna be because I don't think I'm gonna do a TBR video this month because I was gonna start The Way of Kings because I really, really, really wanted to read that this year. And I've just been putting it off because they're so long. And I'm like, well, if I read this, then I won't be able to read this. And if I read these, I won't be cutting down, instead of reading 3 or 4 of these in 1 month, probably not 4, but if I read 3 of these in 1 month, then I won't be reading like 10 other little books. And so it won't make my TBR look like I'm making progress. And like, I really want to read these though. So I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm reading them. Okay. I have been more prioritizing the books I am not as excited to read because I wanted to make more progress on getting my physical TBR lower. And so I'm like, well, I'm not super excited to read these books, but I'm like, I'll read them and then I'll unhaul them or I'll DNF them and unhaul them and get my physical TBR down and make more room on my shelves. Like that's been my priority is getting my TBR down and making more room. But then I end up with like 3 point something averages for the month and for the year because I'm like not reading books I'm like super, super excited about. So I'll read, probably I'll pick a book to read tomorrow, but then I'm going to start The Way of Kings in a few days because like I'll have tomorrow to read and then I work 2 nights and then I'm going to start this chunker of a book. Okay. I'm going to do it. It's time. Anywho, all that to say, I finished this book and I don't know what I'm going to read tomorrow, but I will see you in the morning. Good morning. It's like noon. It is August 1st now. I just finished filming my July wrap up and getting some pictures posted to Instagram and everything, but I think the book I'm going to read today in this video is Forever Never by Lucy Score because I have the audiobook, I have the physical book to tandem read. It's been on my TBR for years, so I think it's time. I kind of had my eyeball on it for the last few months, but I've never read a Lucy Score, so I hope I like it, but I think I'm going to read this today and then work the next 2 days and then start The Way of Kings. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I think I'm going to do a whole vlog just over me reading The Way of Kings. So, I don't know, but this is what I'm going to read today. I'm just hanging out at home. It's a rainy, windy, cloudy day here. And my husband's at work, so I have the whole house to myself. So I'm just going to read and hang out and put some cozy feel-good movie on the TV and hang out with Sander and the cats. Perfect day. Hello. So I may or may not have forgot to update you last night. Didn't forget really. It's just my husband is on day shift and he's like, do you want to go lay in bed and watch a movie? And I'm like, absolutely, I want to do that. Okay, so I read in bed, but I didn't update you last night. I got to page 304 and I liked the characters, but it was just like the plot was like, oh my god, dragging. And then today is Sunday, so I'm supposed to work tonight, and I just like didn't really feel like picking this up, and I'm like, I'm making this video, I gotta finish it, but in my head I'm like, I don't really want to read right now. But then I got put on call, so I'm like, I might as well read this and finish my video while I'm on call, you know? So I finished it, and I think I'm gonna give it like 3.75. I don't know. I really do like the characters. I love Brick, I love Remy, but like, it was a slow burn because like he was just like, oh, I'm not good enough for her, and like, for what? And he just kept like leading her on and then getting cold and just leaving. That was irritating. And then they finally get together, like over halfway through the book, they finally get together, and then they're both in their heads like, oh, she's gonna leave me, she's not gonna stay, and oh, he's hot and cold and he's done this to me so many times, he's not gonna stay, he's gonna come back tomorrow and like say it was a mistake and all this other stuff. But there was conflict there that was like stupid, and then they finally had this big fight and got back together, and I'm like, okay. And then there was a whole conflict with like her friend who was being abused and all this stuff that made the plot go on forever. And that's why this book is so fucking thick, because there's all these just little plots going on, and it was a lot of smut. And I'm like, at first it was really good smut, but then I was like, there's someone trying to murder you, like, you know, like, maybe we shouldn't be thinking about this right now. Anywho, so like, I do love the characters, but there was just some parts of the book that I was like, oh my gosh. And it did drag on. Like, it did not need to be almost 500 pages. It was not this serious, okay? So I think I'm gonna go for like a 3.75. My first Lucy scorebook. That is the end of this video. That's the end of our comfy little weekend reading vlog. I may or may not get called in to work tonight, we'll see. And then I'm gonna start The Way of Kings this week. So I read 2 books in like 3 or 4 days, 5 days. Reading kind of slow, but thanks for hanging out with me in this rainy, it started off rainy, it's not rainy anymore, but thanks for reading with me and hanging out for a cozy, comfy, rainy weekend. I'll see you in the next video, and in the meantime, I'm sending forehead kisses and good reading vibes. Bye!